guys, and welcome to my channel, Keela Talks. Today, obviously, we're going to be doing a recap of the trial between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, and today is day 3 of the testimonies. It's been a bit of a long week so far. My hand is killing from taking loads of notes, but we'll see how we get on. Let me just quickly say hello to people in the chat. Hey Elizabeth and me. Hey the chairman. And hey little Miss Anonymous as well. So a lot of you guys have been watching the trial live, I know. But there's a few people who couldn't watch all of it or who missed bits as well. Hey Weinbach, how are you? And we've got Michelle as well. Hey Michelle, how are you? My little Pokemon friend. I know Michelle from the Pokemon group that I go on. Excuse me, we've got Anne as well here. Hey Anne. How are you? So, oh, people still coming in. Hi Keela, it's a girl. Hi Keela, you slept yet? Me neither, lol. No, not been to bed yet. I am shattered. I'm going to go to bed shortly after this and get my head down because my head feels like a marshmallow at the moment, and I need that much needed rest, and that's what I'm going to do after the stream. Hey Kerry, hope you're okay. So, I've got 2 books here in front of me, guys. I've got my book that I've been taking notes in today, which is this one, which is this amount of notes. You can't really see, but there's quite a lot of pages there. And I've got my other book here in front of me as well, where I've shortened my notes down to main pointers that happened today. Hello, Hurry of Peace. Weinbach says, hey there, Keela, all good here. I'm glad to hear it. I hope everyone's doing well. Like I said, it's been a bit of a long week, long day. I am still buzzing from Isaac's testimony yesterday. I did do a small video about it today, about that emotional testimony. If you haven't checked that out, if you get time, check it out after this video or whenever you can. It's a good reminder to watch anyway. So today, the first person who took the stand was Kate James, and it was from a video deposition. Now, Kate James was Amber Heard's assistant from 2012 to 2015. She hasn't spoken to AH within the last 5 years. Originally, she started part-time for working for Amber, and then she became full-time. Kate then went on to list her duties. She was asked what duties she did, and she looked a bit annoyed. She went, there were so many, I couldn't even list them all to you, but the ones that she listed was, she was running someone's life, everything that you'd do to run someone's life, grocery shopping, admin, errands, fixing the car, checking all the calendars, talking to people, making sure that the calendars corresponded, dog grooming, picking up flowers, dealing with decorators, housekeeper, arranging, I don't know what that's. I can't read my own writing here. Arranging something. Oh, arranging travel and arranging staff. She said that she was poorly paid at first. She was only paid $25 an hour, and for her line of work, that was on the very low end of it. Hey, Screams of Anubis as well. She said that she didn't travel with Amber. That was like in their agreement, that because of her son, she didn't travel with her. She only worked with her when Amber was in town. She said she's seen Depp regularly, and she'd never witnessed any violence, and she wasn't told of any violence either. I think Kate was great. Amber looked so angry, but Amber's teams were bringing her witness. She was blunt, but I don't think she was trying to be unhelpful. Yeah, Kate was very straight to the point. Like, I've seen a few times when she got annoyed with the questions, but quite rightly so, because some of the questions were a bit repetitive, are irrelevant to the deposition. She was asked about the Boston flight incident, and Kate said that she recalls that day. She wasn't on the flight, she doesn't know what happened on the flight, but she recalls that day of the incident. She seen heard she seen heard that day in West Hollywood, and Amber asked Kate to get her a bathing suit because she was having going, chilling by a pool and having drinks with friends. She seen Amber in this bathing suit. She seen no marks, no bruises, no swelling, no redness, no cuts on her arm. Kate states that Amber never said JD hit her to her. Hey, Anne. Amber left the court smirking. She's a weird one, isn't she? And also that it was very evident that Amber had a lot of insecurities about the relationship. She would go out on, she'll cry about her insecurities. She'd go out in the street ringing Kate, crying as well. Amber ended the employment in 2015, told Kate that she couldn't afford to keep her because she had to care for her mum. And I've got some things here that I've reminded myself to read. One of the duties Amber asked Kate to do was to monitor the press, and asked the news guy to hold 2 magazines every time she appeared in them. Kate once a week had to go and pick up the magazines, and then she had to store in the garage. There was one time when Johnny Depp seen her in the garage with them, and Amber Heard went ballistic. She went to a blind rage. Kate stated that she saw Amber get dressed 90% of the time. In the apartment, Amber would quite confidently just walk around in the nude. She saw her with makeup and without makeup, and the majority of the time she wouldn't wear makeup at home. Unless she was going out somewhere to a party or a special event. Oh, thank you, Kevin. I'm glad I'm helping somebody, because that's what this is for. It's to help somebody with the recaps. Like me, myself personally, I can't always follow it whilst it's on, but when I'm reading the physical notes in front of me, it helps me remember and understand. Kate said that she never seen injuries, cuts, bruises or swelling, redness or any black eyes, broken nose, missing hair at all. She said she saw Amber Heard cry once or twice, once on the phone and once in real life. She was very dramatic, crying over being insecure about her relationships. We'll get into Gina in a minute, Shauna will, when we get to it. Amber didn't like being absent from Johnny's physical presence, hated having to hang out with his friends, said that there was all old men playing guitars, and she was bored. Kate then recalled the first time that she met Johnny Depp, and he was like stood in the dining room and he was very, very shy. Her first impression of him was shy, peaceful, calm, quiet, and the thing that she remembered is that he was wearing red. Oh, my cat's crying, you can hear that. Let me let him in, 1 second. Just hear meow, meow, meow. Come on then. Sorry guys. When the kitty calls, gotta answer the door to him. Right, well, I've lost my page now. Let me find where we were. guys. Yeah, the thing that Kate remembers when she first met Johnny was that he was wearing red suede shoes. She never seen him be violent with anyone. He is a southern gentleman and was very gentle. She never seen him scream or lose his cool. Never seen him break anything. He was placid. When she had a son around Depp, Depp would always interact with her son and be loving with him, and he taught him how to play the guitar. He took them on vacation. There was a time when Johnny Depp tricked Kate's son when he was in makeup for Black Mass, and put on a voice and tricked him saying, "Guess who I am?" And it's a big memory for her son. And he also gave him a guitar pick, gave her son a guitar pick, which he still cherishes to this day. I thought that was lovely. Okay, let's see where we are. Let me get the main pointers back. Oh, here we go. She said she was friendly with Depp, and would have chit chats and stuff with him. But whenever AH seen them together talking, she would give Kate the evil eye, and she just had to walk away. She never seen them argue, never seen them get physically violent or aggression, never seen property damage ever. Never heard about a physical altercation. She then talks about, they asked her about when Amber was violent to her. Before that though, they do talk, I missed that bit out. There's Kate talks about Amber's relationship with her sister, where it was a bit of a kick the dog relationship, she said. She was abusive to her sister and abusive to her mother. Her mum was terrified of her and told Kate that personally. Told Kate that she was terrified of her own daughter. Bloody hell. Anyway, carrying on. There was a time when Amber was right in her face, and she was like spitting in her face, saying, "How dare you?" It was when she asked for a salary raise. "How dare you ask for a salary?" There was a witness to that called Hector Galindo, who was the handyman. And at this moment, whilst Kate James was telling this story, it panned the camera to Amber, and she was smirking to herself. I thought, girl, really? Why? Oh, Weinbach, if you can find that for me, please, and send it me, please do that, love. Kate said she's seen her Amber drinking red wine often intoxicated. She never witnessed Amber or Johnny taking illicit drugs. But Amber had admitted to taking them. She admitted to taking mushrooms, ecstasy, cocaine. And she'd seen her under the influence of drugs and drink, disorientated, partying and stuff. But she'd never seen her take them. Anyway, we're on to Laurel Anderson now, guys. Laurel Anderson, sorry if I'm pronouncing any of these names wrong. Not the cat being dramatic, the cat is so dramatic. Cat's like, am I the drama? Of course I'm the drama. Laurel Anderson is a clinical psychologist in LA. She's based in LA and she's done it for 40 years. Her first therapy session with Amber Heard and Johnny Depp was on the 1st of October in 2015. It was a 3.5-hour session. At the time, Amber was 29 and Johnny was 52. She did have the names under different names within the files. But she goes on to talk about how long their sessions were. Like, for example, the first one was 3.5 hours, and then she did 2 individual separate sessions to get to know Amber, get to know the background of Johnny as well. And there was like many different sessions that they did together or on their own. It was actually Christy and Carino who referred Amber to Laurel by email originally. Write the date down, but oh well. She then went on to say that she wanted Johnny to understand something, and she said that she thought that he was having difficulty in the sessions. If you ever heard Johnny Depp like talking in an interview, he has a stammer. And he can talk quite slow sometimes, and I have a stammer, like not as much as Johnny, I don't think, but I have a stammer myself. And sometimes when you're trying to get something out and you're stammering, and then somebody like interrupts you or talks over you, it can make it really hard to get your words out. But anyway, Laurel said here that that Amber had she said she felt he was having difficulty in the sessions, like he had no voice. Amber had like a jackhammer way of talking, and Johnny had a hard time keeping up, and she would cut him off a lot. He was overwhelmed. I don't know what email is doing here. Right, really going. Amber had a big fear of abandonment. Whenever Johnny would be on, when he wouldn't be physically with her, she had a fear of abandonment. Then she went on to say that AH reported abuse to Depp. Initiate a fight. I felt disrespected. If he would leave, she would strike him rather than let him leave. And I thought that was a big thing there, big admittance of what Amber did, is that she would rather hit him than let him go out the door to try and make him stay. The same questions being asked with the cross-examination. Let me just go further along. In one of the sessions, the 6th month of 2015, when she saw Amber alone, what? What's it do? You little drama monkey. Go on there. Anticipation. Come on. So guys, let me try and get in. Have you missed me? Sorry guys, you now are having to listen to recap with a big furry kitten in the way as well. I think he missed me because he didn't come home last night a little slow. Don't lick. Don't like it. Right, Scratch, you can't read it like this. Okay, so apparently AH reported that he hit her but with no closed fist. She hit back, and now she starts it. AH on the phone to JD. She on the phone to Amber. She stated that she slapped him because he was talking about being with another woman. Really? Stop. No. Kerry said you're making the perfect panellist. Let me see if I can sit him on the table. Sit there. There we go. Clean it in a bit. Amber was asking whether she should call the police. She didn't want a divorce. She loved him. But she wanted to want a divorce. She wanted to want to leave him. She wanted to know if she'd have advantage if she leaves him. But file with police for abusers first. Amber asked this of a counsellor trying to strategise for herself. Then they go through like all the incidents and how violent she was. There was an incident where the counsellor said that Amber came to the office. This bit I'm confused about a little bit, but she came to the office with she said grey to blue markings on her face. She said they weren't green, black and blue. There was more of a grey colour. She had like a 1 inch size bruise on her face. And other markings, and she was showing her the photos on her phone. But what I don't understand is if she was going to the office, why would she show? I don't believe that marking was real. I think I know which one she's on about, and I think it's the one where it looks like she's got blue eyeshadow on her face, and it doesn't look real at all. It looks like makeup. Obviously, the counsellor is no bleeding AE nurse or whatever, so do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, and not only that, Kerry, it could also be from when she had her filler injections and stuff as well. They then had lunch, and then after lunch, it was Gina Druters, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Did you just smack me in the face? I'm sure this cat just smacked me in the face. Anyway, then it was Gina Druters. I'm not going to read her testimony because it got redacted. But I'll tell you guys why it got redacted after I bleeding wrote it all down. Okay, let me get to it. It got struck off the it got totally struck off it, and the reason for that was because she had been watching clips of the case online, like the clips of other witnesses' testimonies online, and she admitted to the judge, and the judge excused her straight away, because that is one of the big rules, that you can't research anything, you can't watch anything online. And Gina, with her being a witness, she had to adhere to the rules, and she didn't. So she got struck off. But her testimony that she did give, which has been struck, was really good, because she was talking about how Amber Heard's friends were getting her to participate in something that she hasn't participated in before. Going forward, it was Dr. Kipper. Dr. Kipper's was a long testimony, and it's not even finished yet. His was by deposition. David Allen Kipper, he's been a doctor since 1977. And he provides healthcare on a retainer base, which is where the client pays an annual fee, and then he'll be available 24/7 with all the programs and stuff included. Let me just read Kerry's comment quickly. Kerry says, it may have been redacted, but people heard it and it's out there now. Why didn't Judge ask everyone and only ask Gina? Funny, considering she talked about drug use and she's the one that was excused. Well, it was Amber's team who pulled it to attention as well, wasn't it? Like, yeah, it is out there, but I think because it's been took off the record, I don't know how it can be used within the public atmosphere, if that makes sense. I don't know. Sean says, maybe Jean didn't know that she couldn't watch any coverage of the trial. I think they was all told, like the judge has told everyone every single day. And it was down to the lawyers to tell their witnesses. It was down to the attorneys. So Johnny Depp's attorney should have told Gina, you're not allowed to watch anything. Which they probably have done. Because, you know, it's important for them to be a witness, for them to not be biased or whatever. Obviously people are still biased, but you know what I mean, they're not allowed to do it, it's just the rules. Like I was saying then, welcome back Kareen. Dr. Kippers gave his testimony, which is by deposition. Do you have to like try and take up so much attention, Kat? They can't even see you now. There we go. You're gonna have to get down to that. You're in the way here, mate. Dr. Kipper was Johnny Depp's doctor to try and help him with drug abuse and to book a treatment and a solution to help him to be able to detox from the medications that he was on. Scratch, I can't do this, mate. Black cats do rule, but he's in the way, so let me just put him on his chair. Come on, get on your chair. Dr. Kipper was asked about Lisa Bean, and he then went on to say that she was a problem. She caused problems within the office, and she had quit. They then spoke about Debbie Lloyd, who was assigned Johnny Depp's nurse to treat Depp for substance abuse and set up a sobriety program for him. He would be put on the right medication and have regular drug tests. One of the drugs that he became reliant on was oxycodone. When he had dental work, he was put on oxycodone for pain relief, and he became very dependent on it. And the thing surrounding oxycodone, guys, I don't know if any of you have seen on Disney Plus a series called Dope Sick, and it's about oxycodone and how it was pushed as a non-addictive drug a few years back when it first came out, and people were giving it like willy-nilly, like going to the dentist or just having headaches and stuff, and then they was getting addicted on it, like highly addicted on it, and some people had accidental overdoses and everything. Johnny wanted his detox to be in the Caribbean. I then ran out of time, so let me just get back to this book here. Johnny wanted his detox to be in the Caribbean, and obviously we've seen and heard other testimonies about the Caribbean, like what Amber did to him with his medication. Sorry guys, I'm really lost because Dr. Kipper and his nurse was often do summary treatments to see what he if he was complying with the medication, if he needed to change any programs. He then decided he wanted to have his detox, which he said he wanted to have it in the Caribbean. Debbie Lloyd, the nurse, assisted with that, and apparently Amber Heard gave some of the medication, but this was supervised but not visually supervised. So apparently she was assisted and told how to do it, but she didn't have somebody there with her. Yeah, somebody said that to me before. I think it's Weinberg, and I asked if she didn't had the screenshot. Apparently there was a screenshot put out on Twitter whilst they was at the trial. Sorry guys, I'm just going through this. Dr. Kipper kept on with his treatment, and then it got onto the Australia incident. Which was in March 2015. Johnny wanted Dr. Kipper to check in with him and wanted his company, so he went to fly over there. Debbie Lloyd was already there. He went with Depp, and he was staying about 20 to 30 minutes away in a hotel. Kipper received a text from Johnny Depp saying that they'd been arguing and that he'd cut off his finger. So then the security in Johnny Depp's personal assistant were on the way to go and pick him up. At 5 p.m. he got a message off him saying, "Hi fuck man, had another one. She is full of shit as a Christmas goose. I'm done, no more. From a malicious, evil, vindictive cunt. But you know what? Far more hurtful than her venomous and degrading, endless educational ranting. It's her hideously and purposefully hurtful tirades to the man she's supposed to love above all. Here's the real deal, mate. Her obsession of herself. I'm so very sad." And he mentioned in the text message how he'd cut off his finger as well. And Dr. Kipper said he saw him outside the house in the car, and he was very coherent. He was very clear speaking at the time. He looked like, he was asked how did he look, and he said, well, he looked like somebody who just lost the tip of his finger. The house was a mess. Things were on the floor and thrown around and out of place. He looked like he was asked if he saw blood on paint on the wall. He said no, I saw blood on the wall. He was in there for about 10 or 15 minutes. AH said they had had a fight, but he didn't remember the specifics around that conversation. But Amber was coherent at the time. Going on forward for his surgery, Dr. Kipper kind of put his foot down with him and said if you don't follow the treatment plan and the protocols, he's going to withdraw his case if he didn't comply. He was about to have surgery and he needed to be strictly compliant. And Dr. Kipper didn't think he was stable for the surgery at the time, and that's what. And at that point, Johnny Depp left Dr. Kipper's care for a short time. He was like breaking promises to stay sober. There was a short period of time before he then promised compliance. He was compliant around the surgery and the recovery. He was asked about whether Johnny went overboard with drug and alcohol afterwards. He said he didn't ever remember him going overboard. What? What are you crying for? Ow. And that's where I got up to, guys. There was then like a few text messages that I couldn't write them down fast enough, where they was talking about how Johnny said that he hadn't smoked for like 3 months and him and Amber were best friends, and how the drugs and the drink were the problem, and now that's gone. The monster is away. There was references to the monster and stuff. It was then called for court was closed for session until Monday now, so obviously we're on Thursday. in court will resume on Monday. Got like 35 minutes. I'm sorry guys, I got a bit lost. It's because before I came live, I've not had time to, like, what I did yesterday. I didn't have time to do properly what I did yesterday, which is like bullet point everything, so it was easy for me to read it to you on the stream. Hey Zod, you know what I need to get, guys? I need to get some like highlighters, which will be so much easier. So then when I'm reading it to you guys, I can just highlight the bits that are the most important for the recap. How does everyone feel like today when Shambi says another thing regarding the trial today? I think Eve Barlow was on her phone during the trial when she wasn't supposed to be. Yeah, like I was saying a minute ago, I heard about that Eve had been on her phone. I haven't been on Twitter, so I don't know what it was supposed to be. If anyone has the screenshot, because someone said that she posted something and then she deleted it straight away, but not before somebody got the screen grab. So if anyone's got the screen grab of that, please send it me so I can have a look. Hey Eco Spice. Hey Zad. Hope you're doing okay, love. I'm gonna be going now, guys. I've done my recap over the weekend. I don't know if I'm gonna be live or not tomorrow, but on Saturday, obviously, I'm mainly focusing on the Depp trial. But on Saturday, I'm going to do my free readings on Saturday night. And when the kids go back to school next week, in the mornings, I'll be able to do some reading streams in the mornings next week as well. If anyone's awake for them. Anyway, lovelies, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'm looking forward to how the trial's going to go next week. I feel like when they play them audios, things like that, I think it will. I think it'll shock a lot of people who haven't heard it before. Yeah, Eco says, time to rest and clear our heads if we can. Exactly. I've been bleeding dreaming about this trial, you know, and it's only been a few days. Been having proper weird dreams. Eco says, thank you, Keela, for doing the recaps. Makes it a bit clearer at the end of the day. Thank you, Eco. I appreciate you all. Thank you all for coming. I love you all to bits. And then I hate them. So have now, guys.